अनदर वीडियो और आपका आज वीडियो
स्वागत है।
आज जो वीडियो हम लेकर आए हैं उसका टाइटल है
आई इंटरव्यूड सदगुरु।
तो चलिए देखते हैं ये वीडियो लिखने से पहले
इस वीडियो चैनल का ओरिजिनल लिंक आपको मेरी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब किया, लाइक किया, शेयर को फॉलो करेंगे चैनल को। उसके अलावा मैं लोग चैनल के इंस्टाग्राम लिंक भी मेरी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब किया, लाइक किया, शेयर को फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sir Sadhguru, welcome to Dubai. It's good to have you here. Honored to have this opportunity to speak to you. You've been on some big interviews. You've been with Joe Rogan, you're on Logan Paul's podcast. You've been on a lot of big interviews, and now I feel a lot of pressure on me.
Why?
Because now I need to match that. I need to ask big questions. I think what are questions that are going to make you remember this interview? I think about that. So that's what I was thinking about all night last night. What are the questions I'm going to ask that will make you think, that was a really insightful interview.
Okay, do that.
I'm going to try my best. So. First of all, welcome to Dubai. We know you've been in Abu Dhabi, mashallah. What do you think of the country? I mean, you obviously know the story. It's not your first time visiting. What do you feel like when you're here?
Well, it's a case of… this entire nation is a case of the indomitability of a human spirit, indomitable nature of human spirit. You put them in a desert, you make it into a hub of the world in many ways.
Alhamdulillah.
It's a very significant manifestation of human vision, fantastic leadership and ability to use money and wealth in a most creative way. I think one of the best uses of money that you can see is here in terms of how transformed a desert, what it would have been without all this to live here, how harsh and tough it would have been and how they've made it, that they're drawing the world into this place is a phenomena. Everybody can say, oh, it's just because of oil. Yes, definitely, oil did it, but I'm sure everywhere there is some wealth if you want to use it well. So definitely it's a milestone in human spirit dominating over the hardships that nature can throw at you.
100%. And why are you here this time? I remember last time you came, I saw that. What's on the agenda this time?
I was part of this wellness… I'm kind of a wellness ambassador for Abu Dhabi. So they had a festival, the Kayan festival. So I came there, was there for 3 days. Yesterday I met the culture and tourism minister who was in charge of that whole thing and participated there in a few events. So I'm in Dubai, weather's good, I thought I'll golf a bit and meet a few old friends. Many Indians are here. Yeah. And also local people.
I want to start right into it. I want to get into the depth of the questions.
I thought you started some time ago.
Yeah, this is really the build-up. This is the build-up, the casual conversation to build up to the more in-depth questions that I have, because you're someone who leads a spiritual life. You're an ambassador for a lot of wellness and things of that nature. So I'm curious, how did you get into this life of spirituality and making it something that's at the forefront of what you do every day?
The word spiritual is one of the most corrupted words in the world today, because for somebody spiritual means looking up, for somebody spiritual means ghosts in a bottle, for somebody spiritual means spirits in the bottle all kinds of things. It's the most contaminated word, unfortunately. So let me put it this way, you're here, the body that you have, you were not born like this, I believe. No.
Smaller.
Small. Slowly you gathered this. How? Food that you've eaten. Nor were you born with a mind like this. You gathered impressions. So your body is a heap of food that you gathered, mind is a heap of impressions that you gathered. If you have to gather this much, there must be something more fundamental. Apart from that, what you gather can be yours, but can never ever be you. So in these two heaps of food and impressions, where are you? No. So what is the nature of your existence? No. A simple question is this, anything that you use, people are using cameras, people are using phones, people are using computers, or a car or a machine, whatever. The more you know about it, the better you can use it. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
What do you know about this apart from the things that you gathered? So, this bothered me since a very early age, when I was 4, 5 years of age, I started wondering, what is it about? Don't misunderstand that I was some kind of a spiritual child. No, I was a wild creature, okay? But in the back of my mind, always I look at anything and everything, whether I see an ant or a leaf or anything, I always looking at what is it, all this. When I was like 4.5 years of age, this started, that if I see a dry leaf, I'm just looking at it for hours. If I find a glass of water, I'm just looking at it for hours. So similarly, I sat up in the night and I'm just staring into the darkness for the whole night. So my father my dear father being a physician, started thinking I need a psychiatric evaluation. This boy is simply staring at something all the time, it looks like he's lost it. My problem is I'm looking at this, I don't know this, so I'm not able to shift my attention to that. So, essentially, the fundamental of spiritual process is this. It is not knowledge, it is not scripture, it is not somebody's teaching. If you realize you actually don't know anything in this world, then your intelligence can't help. Start seeking, what is it? And if you seek here, there, you will see somehow you're touching every life only on the surface. The only life you can penetrate into is this one. So you turn inward. So this happened not because of any teaching, not because I had any spiritual knowledge or scripture or something, no. Just happened simply because my mind wouldn't allow me to rest till I know something about what this life is about. This inquiry is there in every human being. We destroy it by instilling belief systems upon that.
I have a question for you, but I need to clarify something I read before I ask the question. You started in business with a chicken farm, correct?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. And the main thing that was interesting is you started a chicken farm because it didn't require much of you so that you could focus on other things that you were interested in.
No, my thing was, I crisscrossed India on my motorcycle at that time. When I went to Nepal border, they asked me for a passport. I didn't know what it is. I thought I have my driving license, I can go anywhere. They said, no, you need a passport. So I turned back and came and applied for a passport. And then I knew I need money. So I wanted to do something without getting too entangled. I do that business, have enough money, and I will ride across the world.
Okay. On that note, so essentially the business was funding things that you loved. But a lot of times you hear people say, focus on the work that you love and make that the source of your income. You'll find happiness through that. If you're doing what you love, you won't work a day in your life. Where you started a business and it funded the things that you actually loved.
See, it's like this. Like some of the studies show that in United States, 70% of the people claim they hate their work.
Oh.
Thank God it's Friday. You heard of that?
Yeah, I heard of that. TGIF. Yeah.
So if you're a fool, you will do things that you don't like and suffer that. If you're an intelligent person, you will do what you love to do and enjoy what you're doing. But that can always change. But if your genius opens up, you learn to do whatever has to be done joyfully. Doesn't matter what I have to do. Even today morning somebody was asking, Sadhguru, which is your favorite golf course? I said, the one I'm playing right now. Always. Which is my favorite place in the world? Right now, Dubai. Who is the favorite human being in my life? Right now, it's you.
Thank you, sir. I'm honored. Thank you. Likewise.
Because when you're here, you think something else is better. You have destroyed your life.
What you said is interesting, and for me, you're someone that, at least from the outside looking in, you live free, true to your heart. And on the other side, you say 70% of people are in jobs or doing work that they hate. What does it take for more people to find the courage to live free and, follow their heart the way you do?
See, that's what. See, if your heart says you want to climb the palm tree, well, you may be in a place where there's no palm tree and you will sit and cry for the rest of your life and palm tree won't come up in Switzerland. You're in the most beautiful place, but you'll cry because there's no palm tree. So don't set such conditions, because human happiness, well-being does not come from outside. Your pain and pleasure happens within you. Your joy and misery happens within you. Your agony and ecstasy happens within you. All human experience happens within you. Then why are you setting external conditions? Now, I can teach you a simple technology where you can tune this system in such a way, your very chemistry is blissful. So you're sitting here blissed out. If it is sun, you enjoy the sun. If it's rain, you enjoy the rain. If it snows, you enjoy the snow. If nothing happens, you enjoy that. Because your inner experience, your experience of life is not determined by what's happening around you. Only then human consciousness will manifest to create what we want. Otherwise, we become an accidental life. Because no matter what you do, how much management you do, external situations will never ever happen 100% the way you want.
Exactly.
But internal situation must happen your way. What it means is all these people will not happen 100% your way ever. But this one person must happen your way. If this person does not happen your way, where is your hope in life? You're finished. That is the only problem they have. People call this happiness, unhappiness, stress, this, that. No, all that's happened is, they themselves are not happening the way they want. What is their problem? Well, their body doesn't take instructions from them. Their thought doesn't take instructions from them. Their emotions doesn't take instructions from them. Their energies, they don't even know where they are. Their chemistry doesn't take instructions from them. So you become an accidental existence. When you're accidental, anxiety is normal. Suppose you got into your car and something funny happened to it, if you turn like this, it'll go like this. Will you be anxious or not? Anything becomes accidental. Anxiety is normal. So this is all people have done to themselves. They have become an accidental existence. So anxiety seems to be normal. Even the doctor is saying, anxiety is normal, don't worry, everybody has it, even I am anxious. This is
I mean, you're talking a lot about well-being. I know you were just in Abu Dhabi. You're an ambassador there for well-being. What do you think is the biggest challenge in the world right now facing people's day-to-day well-being?
It is yet to manifest in very cruel form. People may think, oh, what is the problem with this? This doesn't even look like a problem. It's always best to see problems before they come, so that you can mitigate them. But most people will see things only after it hits them. See, for example, the simple fact is this, every study is showing 78% of the planet's soil has lost 30% of humidity in the last 50 years. 30% humidity loss in the topsoil means zillions of microorganisms are gone. You never counted them, because as per the agro-scientists, we hardly know 1% of the species which exist in the soil. 1%. 99% we don't know. The foundational life for you and me is the microorganism. It is there in the soil, it's there in the body. Just upon your facial skin, there are over 6 to 7 billion organisms right now crawling. How's that?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But because we can't see, we think they don't exist. But we have always known this. Even before modern science started looking at microscopes, we have always known this. Ancient texts in India, yogic texts talk about microorganisms, that life that you cannot see is the basis of the life that you see. So today modern science is well establishing that. So the microorganism population, as it collapses, first thing that will collapse is human software.
How so? In your opinion?
Right now, we are talking about a mental health pandemic. We are not talking about mental health as an individual problem. We are talking about it as a global problem. I was in conversation with the Surgeon General of United States. He is saying, 1 in every 2 Americans are feeling lonely. If 2 of us are sitting here, if one is lonely, what's happening to the other guy?
They'll feel lonely too.
I don't know. So, loneliness is the incubation period for mental illness. You're working on it. So, the urban populations are going rapidly in the direction. Rural populations are a little slow, but urban populations are moving in that direction very rapidly. It's estimated in the next 15 to 25 years, there may be no single family in the world who doesn't have at least one person who is mentally off. And these are not alarmist predictions. This is based on scientific calculation, that's where it's going. But all these predictions are done based on existing data or facts. But we can reverse it. We can reverse it if we make up our minds. It's just that, can we convey this to the whole world? Can we message it? Can we message it in such a way that the world understands and responds to it in a positive manner, is the question. But for that, we are at a better time than ever before. Never before in the history of humanity did we have the power to communicate as we can communicate today. See, you sit here on a chair and talk to millions of people. Many great beings have come, but when they came, if they spoke, hardly 10 people could hear them. In their lifetime, they were not heard, it's much later, messages went out. So this is the first time you can sit here and address the whole humanity. At a time like this, if we do not transform humanity or get humanity to do what is best for themselves and for everybody else or all other life, it simply shows we don't have enough love in our heart.
So I want to ask you, basically, essentially what I was hoping to get is, what is the one thing that someone can do to improve their wellness now?
See, when you say wellness or well-being, this will not happen by managing external situations. External situations will create comfort and convenience, which we need to be effective in our work. Suppose I put pins in your chair and you're sitting on that, you're not much of a podcaster. Hello?
Yeah, I'm like moving around.
So comfort is needed, convenience is needed. Microphone is here, convenience is needed. Comfort, convenience you can create from outside. Well-being can only happen from within, because human experience is generated from within. So if you want to know well-being, in is the only way out. There's simply no other way.
What is the one thing that you're seeing anywhere around the world, like maybe a story or an example of people that you've seen? Because you've seen doctors who have told you 1 in 3 are clinically depressed, 1 in 2 people are lonely. Have you seen any positive examples through your travels or on your trip of institutions or countries that are, seeing an increase in well-being in the people, and what are the things that are happening there?
See, in societies where there has been poverty, some little things come up. People are very happy, but that'll be for a period of time because you're excited about new levels of comfort and convenience. It's like you bought your new car, you're very excited and you're very happy. But you go stand on the street, not just in Dubai, anywhere in the world. Just watch, all these people are driving their dream cars. How many people are driving joyfully? So much distress you'll see on their face.
Yeah.
Only that guy who stole the car, the stolen car is being driven joyfully because his joy is he didn't pay for it. Otherwise, are they enjoying their dream car? Just block the traffic for half an hour, extend their time in their dream car. You think they're sitting and
Happy,
blissed out?
yeah.
No, they'll become miserable and freak out. Some time ago, an American journalist was asking me, Sadhguru, if there is one single achievement that you value in your life, what is it? I said, tears.
Tears.
Tears. So, what does it mean? See, wherever I go, doesn't matter which part of the world I go, the moment I land there, whoever comes around me, I will see tears of love, joy and ecstasy around me on a daily basis. A day doesn't pass without this for me. I think this is the greatest fortune.
Do you worry about anything?
Life keeps me up. Not worry.
Do you not worry about anything?
No, let's understand this. Do I think about 1,000 things? Yes, I think about 1,000,000 things. Thinking is a conscious process. Worrying is because your thought has become like mental diarrhea, it's running by itself, out of control. No, my thought doesn't run out of control, I think the way I want to think. Think about the things that I want to think, trying to solve many thousand issues around me. But that is not worry, Worry means your thought is out of control. I'm not allowed that to happen to me.
Can you remember the last time something kept you up at night? Like something was, because that's the one thing that I personally have. Like I worry a lot about
Last
things.
time I was playing night golf. It kept me up. What? Why?
I got you. And what about regrets? Do you ever have any regrets about anything?
See, my life moves at a pace that there's not too much time. If you're driving at a certain speed, can you go on looking at your rear view mirror and drive? No, once in a while you glance whether you come the right way or not, but you don't go on looking at it. So I keep my life at such a pace, there's hardly any time to look at the rear view mirror because I don't waste my time on things that I can't fix. So, my thought, my energies are towards the tomorrow that we want, not the yesterday. Maybe some things didn't happen the way they didn't happen, but that's not a concern to me because it's over. Why would I concern myself with something that's over?
See, part of the things that I think one of the similarities that I think we have is we're both living lives where we're open to the public. The public can see a lot about what we're doing and stuff like that.
What is private?
What is private?
Yeah, because in my life I don't know what's private.
Oh, yeah,
Everything is public.
Yeah, everything is public. I think when you live a life that's public, you open yourself up to everyone else's opinion.
No.
No?
I just live. People who have opinions.
So how do you turn off that noise? Or do you
Why
not
should
even
I turn it off? It's their noise. They must manage. It's not my noise. They're making noise, it's their noise. They can do whatever they want.
You know, from all the times that I ever
yeah.
do a talk about the work that I do, whether that's making videos, the one question that I always get, the common question I get, sir, is how do you deal with the hate? And first of all, I wonder why that's the first question that they ask. But I also wonder, like, how is it possible for people to deal with that sort of negativity that comes with being online?
See, how do you deal with hate? I have no such issue because I have no hatred, so I don't have to deal with it. They have hatred, they must deal with it.
Like, of all of the things that you're seeing that happening in the world, the change, regardless of the pace, what are you excited about that you're seeing now in the world?
Definitely, artificial intelligence is a big piece. When I say artificial intelligence, it's just like if you had to plant this tree, two men would come and dig with a crowbar and a shovel or whatever. They would take 2 hours to dig. Today a machine comes and digs 500 holes and goes away in 2 hours. Are we not happy?
I think so, no? Yeah.
That you don't have to dig, you don't have to
100%.
fill. Machines are doing all that without even you noticing it. So similarly, all the so-called intellectual work that you're doing, what you're doing is gathering data, building memory, and your memory is never reliable like your phones. All right, it mixes up. And then finding expression, to analyze it and find some kind of expression. These things if machines do, it'll be very good. Lot of people are worried, maybe we lose jobs. Of course, you must lose your job. If you're not doing anything significant that a human being can do, you're only doing mechanical job, you will lose it. The significance of human existence is not realized in this silly labor that we are doing. I don't know whether they use such language here, but in United States if you go, well, what do you do for a living? They ask me.
Yeah.
I say, I breathe. What do you do? No, I am this, I am that, I am a salesperson, I am manager. Oh, you are spending your whole life to earn a living. See, an earthworm also is earning a living, a grasshopper is also earning a living with a tiny little brain. With this big brain, earning a living shouldn't take a lifetime, but you made it like that simply because you're trapped in your own nonsense. A time will come probably in the next 25 years in most parts of the world, it may happen there will be a universal income, nobody has to work for their bread. That is a fantastic time. When this happens, this is just my estimate, I see this in my vision. about 40% of the people will become indolent. They will not get up from their couch, they will sit there, watch television, eat potato chips, get fat, do these things. 40% will waste their lives. Another 20–30% will… these people get addicted to many things, chemicals, stuff. Another 20–30% will get violent, commit crimes, at least 20% will do that, commit crimes because there's nothing to do, they will do all kinds of unnecessary things. Another 30% will do fantastic things that human beings have never done before, without the concern of bread. Bread is always there. Now people work to create something. Human potential finds real expression. My work is to increase that percentage which will do fantastic things that only human being can do, no machine can do.
Which is what? Because you say everything, a lot of things are going to be taken away by technology.
All the things that a man's must… See, today women are moving around freely. Why do you think? It's because of your liberal revolution? No, it's because of technology. Man's muscle has been put down. The significance of man's muscle has gone down with the machines. Significance of your intellectual process goes down, then you will see human consciousness will rise, because that only human being can do. Machines cannot do consciousness. But the other percentages which are there, the indolent ones, the addicted ones, the criminal ones, we have to lower that percentage, otherwise they will eat you up.
I have a feeling I'm gonna get an interesting answer because…
Why? I didn't give you an interesting answer till now?
No, to all my questions… No, sir, just to be clear. To all the questions that I've asked you, I've always… you've made me think about things in a completely different way. And now I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm sure you're gonna make me think about this in a completely different way too. What motivates you to continue to do this work, to continue to spread your message? What is the thing that pushes you every day to grow, to keep working hard?
Do I look pushed?
No. You walked in so chilled, it was
Then why
incredible.
do you say I'm pushed to do something? I'm not pushed to do anything.
Nothing motivates you?
No, I'm
Really?
not a motivated person like that. I'm just doing what's needed. If it's not needed, I'll stop it, just like that.
And then what will you do?
I don't have to do anything. Maybe I'll hit a ball, maybe I'll paint something, maybe I'll just close my eyes and meditate. Because see, this is something very hard for people to understand. If I close my eyes like this now, I can sit here with my eyes closed till I fall dead. I have no need for action. Action is because it's needed. If the world doesn't need action, my action is over. I have no compulsive need for action. I'm essentially a super lazy person, but I'm active 18–20 hours a day, 7 days of the week.
You only sleep 4 hours a night?
Right now, yes, I'm sleeping 4–4.25, but almost 26–27 years, I slept only 2.5 hours. Last year, I slept a lot because… No, I'll tell you, they gave me some medication because of the surgeries, and I slept some days 8 hours, 10 hours, some days 12 hours. But once the medication went off, I'm again back to 4–4.25 hours now.
That's enough for you?
It's more than enough.
More than enough.
Yes. See, body doesn't need sleep, it needs restfulness. If you're running a machine at high RPM, it needs lot of service.
Yeah.
If you run it easy, it needs less service. You must burn only the petrol, not the oil. Most people are burning the oil.
And they're running on fumes too. It's interesting that you say that. When you say like, I'm doing what is needed, and when they don't need it anymore, I can do something else. What is the indicator for you that you're needed, or when will be an indicator that the work you do is not needed anymore? How do you know that?
People are always screaming, Sadhguru, come here, come there, come there. If they stop screaming, I won't go. The need is there in everybody's face, and of course they're screaming also. Even if they don't scream, you can see the need. See, it's like this. Let's go back 50, 100 years here in Abu Dhabi, or in Dubai. It's a desert. But I have a clear, sweet water here in my well. people are walking looking for water. I say, if they want, let them come and fall into the well, but it's not my business. I'll simply sit here. I think that's inhuman. So I scream a little bit, hey, water! So this doesn't mean I'm interested in service. It's simply humanity that there is water and the guy's thirsty, I say, hey, drink. So this is not some service, I don't think it's service. I don't think it's some great something. It's needed, people are thirsty, it's very clear. Otherwise they're messing themselves up. People have asked me, Sadhguru, what's your idea of a dream world? I say, my dream world is when I'm unemployed, when nobody needs me, this is my dream. Hope they fulfill my dream in this lifetime.
Yeah, inshallah, inshallah. So Sadhguru, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
बहुत ही ज़्यादा सोलफुल कन्वर्सेशन थी ये एक।
मुझे लग रहा है कि लाइक पहली दफ़ा है कि एक ऐसी कॉन्वर्सेशन हम देख रहे हैं और सुन रहे हैं लाइक जहाँ पर बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं।
हाँ।
और ये चीज़ मैं इसलिए रिलेट कर पा रही हूँ क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं पर हमने भी अपनी जर्नी में ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो मतलब समझी हैं, सीखी
स्टार्टिंग में
हैं।
हम भी इसी तरह जो है सोचते थे।
हाँ, क्वेश्चंस को सुनकर मतलब जो आंसर
हाँ।
उनको सुनकर समझने की कोशिश करना, क्योंकि मैं ये चीज़ रिलेट कर पा रही थी कि जिस तरह से जो पॉडकास्टर खालिद हैं वो क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे और जैसे सदगुरु आंसर कर रहे थे, तो वो थोड़ा सा एक आप कह लो कि डिफरेंट साइड पर उनकी एक सोच जा रही थी। आप सोचते हो क्योंकि आपको एक नया एंगल मिलता है सोचने का, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप जिस एनवायरनमेंट में होते हो वहाँ पर आपको इस तरह का कभी आप कह लो कि माहौल नहीं मिला होता कि आप कुछ और सोच सको। तो जब आप एक डिफरेंट लेंस से चीज़ें समझने की कोशिश करते हो तो वो आपको बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगती हैं और आप कोशिश करते हो कि आप उसको मज़ीद समझो और सीखो। और जहाँ पर मैं कहती हूँ कि सदगुरु बैठे हों, सबसे पहले तो यही एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है कि आप सदगुरु से मिलें और वो भी इस तरह से इतने करीब होकर। और दूसरी बात मुझे लगता है कि सदगुरु जी की बातें समझना अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी बात है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, इसमें
वो
कोई शक
इतनी
नहीं।
इजी मतलब कॉन्वर्सेशन मुझे नहीं थी और सदगुरु का सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर भी हमें पता है कि कितना अच्छा है।
लेकिन आज के कन्वर्सेशन की बात की जाए ना तो उन्होंने एक बहुत सिंपल वे में जो है ना उन्हें सारी बातें जो है वो समझाई
हाँ।
हैं। खासतौर पर जो है ना जब वो स्टार्टिंग में बात करते थे, दुबई की जो है बात कर रहे थे, तो लिटरली आज के टाइम पे अगर आप दुबई को देखते हैं तो भाई वाकई में जिस तरह ट्रांसफॉर्म जो है उन्होंने अपनी लैंड को किया है वो काबिल तारीफ़ है, क्योंकि एक टाइम पे वाकई वो डेजर्ट हुआ करता था, वहाँ पे इस तरह जिस तरह आज आपको देखने को मिल रहा है नहीं था। तो जो उन्होंने वहाँ पे बात की है ना कि पैसे का सही इस्तेमाल जो है वो आपको नज़र आता है, तो वाकई हकीकत है कि आपको
मैनिफेस्टेशन,
हाँ आपको वहाँ पे मैं कहूँगा पूरी दुनिया से जो भी लोग वहाँ पर आते हैं वो वहाँ के रंग में रंगते हुए आपको जो है वो नज़र आते हैं और किसी को कोई दिक्कत भी जो है वो नहीं होती। तो मेरा ख्याल है जो उन्होंने एग्जांपल दिए ना, बेस्ट यूज़ ऑफ मनी जो है वो आपको दुबई में नज़र आता है, तो वाकई एक हकीकत है।
बट आई थिंक थ्रू ह्यूमन मैनिफेस्टेशन ना,
हाँ।
उन्होंने मैनिफेस्ट किया कि उन्होंने आने वाले टाइम में किस तरीके से अपने कंट्री को बनाना है और उन्होंने उसी तरीके से वो बनाया भी। लेकिन मुझे ऑनेस्टली बोलूँ ये चीज़ें बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगती हैं जब आप किसी भी गुरु के आप कह लो कि अल्फाज सुनते हो और समझने की कोशिश करते हो। जैसे आप मतलब एक आम इंसान के यही होते हैं क्वेश्चंस बेसिक, भाई हमारे अंदर की जो नेगेटिविटी है या हम बाहर की नेगेटिविटी है उसका एक असर, किस तरीके से हम खुश रह सकते हैं।
हाँ।
मतलब मुझे सच में मैं एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पा रही प्रॉपरली, बट मुझे पहले ये चीज़ें नहीं पता होती थी और ना ही समझ में आती थी कि खुश रहना होता क्या है।
बिल्कुल
ठीक है, ये सब चीज़ें यूट्यूब जर्नी की देन है कि हमारे साथ ऐसे हमारे फ्रेंड्स जुड़े, हमें ऐसी यूट्यूब फैमिली मिली, ऐसी वीडियो सजेस्ट की गई कि हमें ये चीज़ समझाई और हम लोगों ने सीखने की कोशिश की और अभी भी हम उसी प्रोसेस में कि हम लोग सीख रहे हैं। बट अभी ये चीज़ समझ आती है कि खुशी क्या है और लाइफ को कैसे लेकर चलना है। पहले एक और सोच थी, अब कुछ और सोच है और मैं सीरियसली इस सब चीज़ों का श्रेय जो है वो अगेन जितने भी हमारे YouTube सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं, हमारे वीडियो सजेस्ट करने वाले जितने भी हमारी YouTube फैमिली है और कंटेंट क्रिएटर हैं और जितने भी गुरु हैं, मैं उन सबको देती हूँ क्योंकि उनकी वजह से हमें कुछ सीखने का मौका।
हाँ बिल्कुल, मैं भी एग्री करूँगा क्योंकि पहले अगर हम बात करना शोर की, जो उन्होंने बात की, तो हमारे आसपास जो शोर होता था ना वो हमें बहुत ज़्यादा तंग जो है वो करता था। लेकिन टाइम के साथ साथ अगर बात की जाए तो बहुत कुछ सीखा है। और ख़ासतौर पे ये चीज़ें कि आपके अगर वाकई में आसपास से जो आवाज़ें चल रही हैं भाई वो उनका शोर है, ठीक है ना, वो उन तक ही रहने दो। आप
वो
अपना
उनको डील करना,
हाँ,
वो हमें
डील नहीं करना,
हाँ।
हमें से अपने आप को डील करना है।
हाँ।
और शुक्र है कि टाइम के साथ साथ ये चीज़ें जो है वो करनी आ रही हैं आप। हाँ, लेकिन जैसे जो है ना कहते हैं कि दूसरों को सुने लेकिन करें वो जो आपको जो है वो ठीक लगता है, ये वाली बात जो यहाँ पर आती
एक और चीज़ मैं बोलूँगी कि हमारी लाइफ में जैसे इसमें बात ही रिग्रेट की बात ही, मतलब क्योंकि क्वेश्चन इस तरह के थे जो रिलेटेबल थे, एक आम इंसान के क्वेश्चन से। तो रिग्रेट की अगर हम लोग बात कर लें या अगर हम लोग डे टू डे स्ट्रगल की बात कर लें तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें समझ आती हैं कि चीज़ें ख़त्म नहीं होती। आपके डेली कोई ना कोई चैलेंजेस लाइफ के हैं जिनको आपको कन्फ्रंट करना है और वो एनर्जी आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए। फिर अगर वैसे भाई मैं बात करूं सदगुरु जी की तो मतलब वो तो मैं कहूँगी कि जिस तरीके से वो बात करते हैं कि लाइक सोने वाली बात करूं अगर मैं तो मतलब 2.5 घंटे सोना, 4-4.5 घंटे सोना, ये वाकई में ये मतलब एक आम इंसान के बस की तो बात बिल्कुल
भाई। जब तक
नहीं
हम 8 घंटे की नींद पूरी ना कर लें हमें लगता ही नहीं है कि हम जो है ना वो सोए हैं।
ट्रू। और मैं कहूँगी कि वाकई में सदगुरु जैसे बात करते हैं ना कि लोगों को उनकी ज़रूरत है क्योंकि जो चीज़ें हो रही हैं और फिर जिस तरीके से उन्होंने डिफरेंट एग्जांपल्स कोट किए हैं अपनी रूटीन लाइफ को हम लोग को बेहतर बनाने के लिए, तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है सुनना और सीखना। बाकी मैं बोलूँगी कि भाई मैं थैंक यू बोलती हूँ अगेन सबका कि हम लोग को इतनी अच्छी वीडियोस जो है वो सजेस्ट की जाती हैं। बस यही मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ और यही मैं दुआ करती हूँ कि हम प्रैक्टिकली अपनी लाइफ में इन चीज़ों को हमेशा इम्प्लीमेंट करें क्योंकि सुकून इसी में है। बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें शो ऑफ करने में, जैसे उन्होंने बीच में एग्जांपल भी दी, हो सकता है आपके पास बहुत अच्छी गाड़ी हो, बहुत अच्छा घर हो, बहुत सारे पैसे हो, लेकिन क्या आप ज़िंदगी को उस तरीके से गुजार रहे हैं? हाँ, मैंने बहुत सारे लोगों की ज़िंदगी में नहीं देखा, लेकिन सुकून किस में है ये ज़रूर सीखना चाहिए। बाकी कमेंट सेक्शन में आप ज़रूर बताइए कि आपको आज की कॉन्वर्सेशन कैसी लगी और इसी के साथ
लाइक, सब्सक्राइब, शेयर, गुड बाय।